Hi Soul Fam, welcome back to this channel where we do tarot card readings every single Monday. My name is Frances and I am a tarot card reader, a tarot card deck creator, a Reiki master healer and teacher, and all-round spiritual metaphysics nerd, quite honestly. I'm so excited to be connected with you either for the first time or if you're here every week. Hello, welcome back. Wowzy wowza. We have had a couple of weeks in the United States, and I feel like when anything happens anywhere, this sounds so silly as I'm saying it. I'm like, Frances, duh. But obviously everything has ripple effects, especially in countries, any country that, affects the world economy. So as we've had, this attempted assassination a few weeks ago, and then Biden has decided and shared that he is pulling out of the race for a second term, therefore leaving a space open for a new Democratic nominee, which seems like we know who it might be, but you never know. I'm not making any guesses anymore because I'm just like, woo, who knows what's happening. But I share all that because this has all been coming through in our tarot card readings the last 2 weeks. And whether you live in the US or not, number one, let's rewind. Tarot is not only about events. To be quite honest, if you have worked with me before, I don't like to look to the future with tarot because I think that free will is important. And the way that spirit channels, again, especially in a collective, we were talking about this last week, but especially in a collective, it resonates differently for everyone because they speak with more broad terms, so that everyone can receive what they need to receive from it. Obviously, in a one-on-one session, things are way more specific because it's just for you. But I share this because, again, the globe is the globe. One thing that happens in one space does affect everything else. And I think we're in really interesting times in a society, not just in terms of like humanity in the day to day, but like truly in terms of like new earth energy, more people waking up, more people caring, more people standing up for what's right. I think that we're starting to see that reflected now in government, finally, hopefully, where I think because things have felt so erratic, I actually have hope for a better future from those in power. Because, yeah, things are changing. Things are getting rocked to their core. And I really believe that on a universal scale, this is supposed to be happening. Like, we are in such a pivotal part of human history right now. And of course, there's been many, many pivotal parts over the years, obviously. But yeah, it seems like a big one. So I'm interested to see how this all unfolds. I'm interested to see if that comes up this week or if they're like, hey, kind of like the big things are now completed for now, and then things are going to be a little mellower as as we see where the pieces fall, right? So I'm curious to see where we go today. Anyways, I don't know why I felt called to speak on that, but let's connect energy completely here. Working in the light and highest for everyone here's greatest good and deepest understanding at this time. Keeping my energy on, cleansed, and protected, and everyone here as well. Welcoming in my spiritual team. And each and every person welcoming in their team forward. I'm seeing this really beautiful guide, energy, woman, spirit. It's really lovely. Wow, I wish I was an artist so I could draw this. Any artists out there, feel free if you feel inspired to draw this. It's this beautiful woman. She's looking kind of at me, but also down slightly in reverence, not in sadness, in reverence, not to me, but more like in reverence for all. And then her hair is long, but it actually turns into waterfalls at the bottom. And then her trunk is actually kind of like the trunk of a tree, but also still very human, but she has like some leaves and flowers coming out of her hair. Just really, really beautiful, all-encompassing flow state energy. So yeah, I just like to share the beings and the energies that are here with us. Feel free if you would like to call upon her, if you'd like to meditate with her in your mind's eye, and or truly this energy of flow and presence and stillness this week, okay, in our hearts. Okay. What do we need to know, team, this week? Okay, so 3 cards here. Oh, one kind of slipped out. 2 kind of slipped out. Oh, do we want both of you? No. Okay, not you, but you. Okay, so actually, 4 cards. Let's see how we go. First card. Oh, the Lovers. So we were just talking about the heart, right? Flow and stillness in the heart. I want to call out the flow, okay? And stillness so that you can feel the flow. The Lovers card is about vulnerability. This card is asking you to be vulnerable with your feelings this week. Now, also I want to preface, this feels very separate from that first piece that they were talking about. This is like you for you, okay? So the Lovers card, again, this is about vulnerability. This is about sharing your feelings. This is predominantly, though, about sharing your feelings with yourself. How often do we run from our feelings, or we don't even give ourselves the stillness, the time to hear our feelings, to feel our feelings? This came up a couple weeks ago, probably about a month ago now. So we're revisiting it now, almost like, hey, hopefully you did all that work then, and now we're coming back like, what's up? Like, let's check in. Also, the Lovers is a major card. Major cards are life themes in tarot. So this is truly asking you, like, this is a new way of being, a way of living in, I don't want to say a vulnerable state, like a weak state, but living in a vulnerable state, an open state, an honest state, asking for what you need, receiving it when it is given to you, listening to your own feelings. So the Lovers is, calling for some strength to be still so that you can be in your feelings flow. This also might be resonant in relationships. If you are in a romantic relationship, whether it's a new one and you're hoping it blossoms more, or you've been in a marriage for 50 years, my ear is ringing. So this is relevant to relationships again. And or if you are seeking a relationship, you're dating, or you kind of have a crush on somebody, the Lovers card is like, pour it out. Like, this is the week to let your heart be free, to let your heart open, share your feelings. Again, ask for what you need, but asking for what you need also requires you to know what you need. So that's where that reflection comes first. Maybe just asking yourself, like, how am I feeling? What do I need this week? Is this something I can give to myself, or is this something that I need to ask for from either the person, like my person, and or the relationships in my life, be that friendships, co-workers, roommates. But again, in order to ask for what you need to know what you need, which requires introspection first, and then the strength and the vulnerability to share that with those around you. This is also asking you to be that for someone else. So if your friends, coworkers, roommates, or partner is like struggling in any way, maybe you've done all this work and they haven't. And so maybe this is for you to hold the space for them to be able to do that as well. And kind of, be that safe space for them to feel, to cry, to laugh, to ask, hey, is there anything that you need from me? I love you. Is there anything I can do to support you? Oh my gosh, right? If someone came up and was like, hey, is there anything I can do to support you this week? You'd be like, what? Like, what a beautiful thing to ask your partner, right? So being that space for each other. And then also in a more individual sense, truly making space to feel stillness so that you can feel, so that then you can honor those things for yourself. Overarching theme here, though, vulnerability. Letting yourself be vulnerable. This could also be like trying new things, asking the question, asking for the raise, saying what's been on your mind that's been hurting you, whatever it may be, whatever, and maybe even a ultimate question like, what is vulnerability to me? And how can I find strength in vulnerability and show up like that daily? Softness in the heart. It's a call for a softening, to let the walls down. Now going a little bit back to what they were saying earlier, this is New Earth energy, openness and unity and non-judgment. So you're starting to practice being this way so that we are changing with the times. Finding value in what you care about, because what you care about is important. Okay? Beautiful. That was a lot there. I love that. So lovely. Okay. And then finally, self-love. Self-love, self-love, self-love. So maybe practicing some self-love or self-care practices this week. Scheduling them. Otherwise, you won't do it. Okay. Next card. Okay, another major card. Temperance. This is the card of patience. This is the card of patience in the in-between. So if you in any capacity right now are feeling like you're in the in-between, I'm not really where I was, but I'm not really where I'm going, and I'm kind of just in this like in-between state, and part of it feels kind of nice and part of it feels really stagnating, and I feel kind of behind and I don't know what I'm doing, and but I also do know what I'm doing and things are good, but they're also like kind of just, I feel like I should be doing more, right? You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Find patience in your process. This is very much like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, a little bit in, a little bit out. This also might mean that you have your hand in a lot of different pots right now, wearing a lot of different hats at once, and learning how to find stability and groundedness when there is a lot required of you in a lot of different areas. This temperance card, you can see this hummingbird, right? It's going for a drink in the water. Just a little bit, just its beak goes in. It's not like, all right, drench me, right? Because then it would have a hard time. It would have to pause and it would have to dry itself off before it could fly again. So this temperance card is, again, it's the permission to not go all in everywhere, because then your battery is going to run out really fast. Temperance is saying, hey, we know you have a lot going on. It's okay to be present in each thing as you're needed in each thing. You cannot be all everywhere. You can't be everything everywhere. So your energy management this week is really important. How much you're going to give to each thing. Remember last week we pulled Knight of Wands, presence in what you're doing, very intentional action. This is a continuation of that, but again, major card, a new way of being. So this isn't like, okay, I'm just going to practice this week and then it's fine. It's like, I am practicing this week so this can become a part of who I am. Ability to not do it all because you have to, but hold it all because you have the strength and the capacity to do that, because you are so good at your energy management and because you are so peaceful in a process, meaning patience and knowing I'm not going to go 0 to 60 so I can get that thing done. I might have to be a little bit, tortoise in the hare, right? Slow and steady wins the race. I have to be patient in moving slower so that I can actually do more. So that when I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, I only took 1 step in each direction every day. But look, now I have 5 things completed all at once, maybe 6 months later, instead of 1 thing complete 6 months later, right? So do you see how they're talking about timelines? It's actually like you're walking a slower path, doing more, but you're actually accomplishing more than if you would walk 1 path or run 1 path. Okay? I hope this is making sense. It's quite poetic, but temperance is truly asking you to trust the process, to be patient, to not rush, to know that you are needed in many places, and that's good, and requires some work to not get burnt out. So go slowly, take care of yourself. And how you're going to do that, the final piece of temperance, is following the heart and the third eye. This is not trying to manage. This is, does this feel right? Does this feel good? Okay, I move 1 step forward and then I pause. Okay, so really, I keep hearing like trusting the process and knowing that you are exactly in your right time. And this is, again, a new way of being, just like the Lovers. So softness in the heart, patience in the process, learning to operate from joy and from intuitive connection and intuitive knowledge. So exciting. Okay, then let's see what we have over here. Page of Cups. So they're like, while you are completely upgrading who you are, have some fun. Page of Cups, this is about play. This is about confidence. This is about tapping into your strengths. So this week, I want you to set some time aside. Hey, what are my strengths? And of those strengths, what do I love to do? Sometimes we're good at something, but we don't necessarily love it. We can still do that thing, but I actually want you focusing on what am I good at and what of those things do I really enjoy and how can I do more of that? That's part one. Part two is what brings me joy simply because it brings me joy. I want to go to a dance class. I want to take a pottery class. I want to cook. I want to lay out by the pool. I want to go for a hike. I want to eat delicious food, whatever it is. So what am I good at? And of those things, what brings me joy? And then completely separately from the productivity side, simply what brings me joy and how can I do more of that and implement more of that energy in my life? Where can I be playful and fun? Last week we pulled 6 of Cups, right? This inner child healing. So hopefully you did some of that work, and having times of play and joy simply for times of play and joy doesn't feel quite as foreign anymore. We can tap more into that now, because when we are in our joy, when we are in our confidence, that is when we walk in alignment. And if you look here at this fish in the cup, that represents opportunity out of nowhere. You're just going to be walking your path. Sorry if you can hear that very squeaky truck. It's very squeaky. But you're just gonna be walking the path like, yeah, this feels good. Okay, I like that. Wow, you go, Frances. Like, you go, insert your name here. Like, I'm really proud of myself. That was really cool. Okay, I did that. I'm gonna keep going one step at a time. I'm not gonna rush the process. I'm gonna be honest with my feelings. Okay, cool. We're just gonna keep walking this path. And all of a sudden, the universe is like, oh, here you go. Then you have to take it. Remember, accepting. Wow, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna keep walking my path with this new gift universe brought me. Oh, cool, I'm really proud of myself for that. Oh, wow, that seems like a fun opportunity. Cool, I'm gonna go for it. Hey, universe goes, here you go. And you're like, oh, amazing, thank you. Okay, and now I keep going, right? It's really like, can be that easy. If we just follow the heart. I know that sounds like so cheesy and almost too simple, but like it can be that simple if we allow it to be. Okay, so the final piece with Page of Cups, so let's recap. Lean into your confidence and your gifts. Be proud of yourself. Humility is beautiful, but so is confidence. Humble confidence is powerful. So stepping into that this week. Number 2, joy. And number 3, when things fall in your path, not if, when things fall in your path that are presented to you that feel right and feel good, please accept them. If someone gives you a compliment, say thank you. If someone offers to buy you lunch, say thank you. Please accept what is flowing to you this week, okay? Because that's also part of these other 2 cards. The Lovers, vulnerability, letting someone compliment you, that's a vulnerable state. Saying thank you, that's doing that work, right? Temperance, patience in the process, right? Maybe you've been really overwhelmed and someone goes, hey, let me take your cart back for you. You know, I see you struggling putting your toddler in the car seat. Like, let me take that for you. Thank you, right? That allows you to be more present in the one thing that you're doing, and also very vulnerable to let them help you. Okay, so it could be little things like that. It could be a job opportunity. It could be a raise. Who knows? I'm really excited to find out what it is for you. But please accept what comes. Okay? Okay, last card today, the Knight of Swords. This is cool. So last week we had Knight of Wands. Now we're in Knight of Swords. This is a little bit of a faster energy. Knight of Swords invites you, and I love this in alignment with Page of Cups. Sorry if you can hear a tippy toe doggy. And I say this with a huge asterisk because please, you know, I have to just say, be careful, take care of yourself. But Knight of Swords invites you to act before you think. Essentially, operating on intuitive connection only, not letting your brain get in the way, not letting the overthinking, the worry, the anxiety, the inner critic, the I shouldn't, the I don't have time, the I, whatever it is. Knight of Swords says, just do it. It feels right. Yeah, it feels fun. Page of Cups. Okay, cool, go. Knight of Swords is like, let's just do this. It's not act before you think to be irresponsible. It's act before you think, because that is operating on truly just your innate intuition. Now, again, I have to say, just for like responsibility here, number 1, this is not advice. Number 2, you know, take that for what you will. But this card is asking you to get out of your own way so that you can even practice, like maybe this is just an experimental week for you where you're like, cool, I'm just going to make a decision and I'm just going to go for it. And then maybe, you know, if that feels really scary for you, maybe you give yourself a 24-hour buffer. So it's like a grace period, right? It's like kind of when you book a hotel, they're like, you have 24 hours to cancel. Kind of like that. It's like, make your decision. Don't take any action for 24 hours. Check in 24 hours. See how it feels. And be like, cool, yeah, I'm going to stick with what I said yesterday. Or actually, you know, that was a little bit impulsive. I didn't really think it through. Now is time to think about it. But no thinking in that 24 hours. I want you operating, again, from intuition and heart space. I am very excited about this card. I think it's a really cool experiment and a really fun way to live, a really powerful way to live, because again, it is strictly operating on intuitive strength. Okay? Be safe, be careful, don't do anything. It's funny, Spirit has been talking a lot about this lately, the difference between being silly and stupid. Silly is great, but don't do anything stupid, okay? Be silly, be fun, be playful, be, you know, in enjoyment of your life. Take some risks, but don't be stupid, okay? So I think we can understand that distinction. But overall this week, it feels like we're turning back inward, which is really lovely, so that we can kind of move through this really big energetic upgrade as a collective. As so much is changing out here, we get to be the most empowered and most aligned, highest self version of our soul self, our expression of soul. And so that's why checking in with that heart space and the vulnerability, letting yourself have time and space to experiment with this, because we do still have to be human. We still do have to deal with all these things here, but we can also go slowly so we can be really present in that. We can be operating from heart and third eye. And then again, Page of Cups and Knight of Swords. So all of this comes back to operate from heart, right? This should be joyful, this should be playful, and then also, and really intuitive. And also with this Temperance card, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, it is this person standing in a pond. They have 1 foot in the water, 1 foot out of the water, and there is, I believe it's a triangle. I can't remember exactly, but there's a triangle and then like a glowy circle. One is in the heart and one is in the third eye. And then we have here Page of Cups. This is like all feelings, and then Knight of Swords. This is all intuitive action. So, and then of course the Lovers is all about like that vulnerability and softness in the heart. So again, I just want to call back, if there's like a theme I want you focusing on this week, it is softness in the heart, which includes joy, vulnerability, nurturing, etc., and intuitive action, trusting your intuition. Okay? Beautiful, everybody. Please let me know if you have any questions. If you would like to share how this resonated with you, please leave it in the comments. If you feel called to donate to the Love Jar, I will leave my PayPal donation link in the description box below. Thank you to those of you who donate. I am so, so, so grateful. Every single penny is so humbly and gratefully received. So thank you. And to those of you who feel called to donate, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you haven't already, please like this video. That really helps me out. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for your readings every single Monday, and share with someone who you think would receive from this. I'm sending so much love, and I look forward to connecting again soon.